are things I used to judge women in relationships for doing, but now that I'm older and know better, I am doing those things too. Number one, I used to judge people for sleeping in a separate room as their partner. However, as somebody whose body temperature flip-flops throughout the day, throughout the night, especially as somebody who can be woken up by the slightest sound, and I value my sleep or I'm not able to function. I need my own space. I need my own bed. We can come together, hook up, whoop-de-woo, and then I'm going back to sleep in my bed. The next thing, I remember my home economics teacher back when I was in high school. I don't know how the conversation started, but she said that her and her husband did not live in the same house. And at the time, I was like, why wouldn't you live in the same house as your husband? I was very much still feeding into the glamour and Disney World fantasy of what a relationship is supposed to be. But now I get it. Because if my relationship ends, I can tell you one thing, I will not be scrambling trying to figure out what I'm going to do and where I'm going to live. Nobody can kick me out of nowhere. And I'm also not going to stay with you because I don't know where I'm going to live or what I'm going to do. So you're my only option. Also, sometimes you just want your own space. Okay. Sometimes you just want to be left alone to unwind and relax, and you don't want anybody in your vicinity. You can do things the way you want to do, organize your cabinets the way you want to organize them, and nobody has a say about it. The next thing, took me a long time to understand this. I used to judge women who got with men because they were financially stable and because they could benefit from them. You cannot pay your light bill by going to the light place or calling them and saying, but I'm in love with Jimmy. You cannot pay your rent or your mortgage by telling them we've been together for 20 years and I love him so much. You cannot put your kids through college because you and your man stuck together through thick and thin. You need money. I heard somebody say this, the idea of romance was created to make women fall in love with broke men. Yeah, because y'all love each other and he can give you love. He can give you a fucking headache is what he can give you. Dating a broke man is the most expensive thing a woman can do. I ain't saying that he got to be a millionaire. I ain't saying that he got to make several $100,000 a year. But he needs to be able to take care of himself. If an emergency comes up, he's not borrowing and stealing, trying to figure out what he's going to do. And he's especially not asking you for any fucking money. Y'all are not up at 2 o'clock in the morning arguing about how the rent is going to be paid. And he's not making little passive aggressive comments under his breath when you're able to have a little fun and splurge, and he's insecure because he can't provide that for you. I ain't saying that men who are financially stable are better, because men be menning. I will stick by that statement for the rest of my life. However, not constantly having to worry about how shit's gonna get paid does take a lot of pressure off of you as a couple, because one of the top reasons that people break up is because of what? Right, money. The next thing that I was stupid and judged women for that I've learned the hard way, I used to judge women who couldn't cook and clean for their men. I was such a pick-me when I was married to my ex-husband. He had a friend who was with someone who would never cook him dinner and would like toss him a pack of noodles. And I remember thinking, oh, thank goodness I'm such a good woman who cooks and cleans. And still got cheated on and still got taken for granted. It is not my job as a woman to cook and clean for you. And it's so unfortunate that I see so many young women come on this app and they make content that's like, I'm gonna cook my boyfriend dinner until he proposes. Why the fuck are you auditioning for this man to give you a ring? If I want to hire a wedding planner or a venue, they need to show me pictures and samples and video of what they're able to do. But if it's simply me being in a relationship with you and me is not enough, I don't have time for that. And I actually grew up, after I left that marriage, I fucking hate cooking. I fucking hate cleaning. I barely manage my own life. I do not want to manage yours and schedule your doctor's appointments and all that shit and make sure you know you can't eat bacon because your heart's gonna explode. If you don't want to take care of yourself, then fucking die. I don't give a shit. If you don't know when your sister's birthday is, guess what? I probably don't either, because sometimes I forget when my own is. Put your big boy drawers on and take care of your fucking self. And there's no way that I'm going to be romantically attracted to a man that I have to mother. And what a lot of y'all don't want to admit, and I'm just going to go ahead and say the thing, although I might get backlash for it, a lot of these men cheat, and it's not your fault. That's not what I'm saying. But a lot of these men cheat because they're not attracted to their mother. It's the same way in reverse. When I see women making jokes about how they don't want to be intimate with their husband, there's a reason that's causing them not to be attracted to that man anymore. It's probably because you're not attracted to a child. It is so sexy when a man has his shit together and he doesn't need you in his life to manage it. Which leads me to another thing, which kind of is combined with this. But I used to judge women who just would not run themselves ragged for I was like serious Christian way back then. But I used to judge women who wouldn't do any and everything for their husbands. And the top reason, at least when women email me and they compensate me to help them figure out their relationship issues, then guess what the number one thing these women say is, I did everything for him. And now it's kind of like, if you cheat, I'll be disappointed, but I won't be like, I gave up my life. Absolutely fucking not. It won't be because I invested all my money for him and I bought him that guitar so he can pretend to be a rock star. I bought the workout equipment so he can be a personal trainer who doesn't train anyone. You might still be heartbroken and feel some type of way, but I'm telling you, the less you have invested in that relationship, the quicker you're going to get over it and move on. And lastly, and let me know if you want me to make a part 2, I used to judge women who took trips away from their man and valued their friendships with other women. Growing up in the South, in the super conservative Christian South, what is ingrained in your head and what I've actually heard couples say is, we don't need any other friends. All we needed is each other. We sit on the couch, we go everywhere together, we walk alike, we talk alike, we act alike. And I used to think that was so romantic. But let me tell you now, I totally understand that there are some petty bitches in this world. I have experienced being friends with women who have betrayed me and like shook me to my core. There are tons of stories of women who have done horrible things to women who thought that they were their friends. I'm not denying that. I know it to be true. However, the numbers don't lie. You are more likely to be harmed by a man, and an intimate partner at that. And when women are going through these breakups and divorces, one thing I usually hear them say is, I feel so lonely. I wish I had someone to talk to. I wish I had a friend to go to the movies with. And not in all cases, Susan, hear what I am saying. Not in all cases, but in most cases, it's because you invested more time in your relationship than you did in trying to build community with other women. And don't give me the BS excuse of it's hard to find friends. Most women who say that shit spend an infinite amount of time on dating apps and getting ready to go on all these dates, but would never utilize as much time investing in a friendship and developing friendships. Same thing as dating. You still have to vet people. You still have to have boundaries in that situation. When you see red flags, you still gotta let them go. It's just you're building a friendship this time. Just like you're willing to put yourself out there for love, you have to put yourself out there to develop friendships. I am okay with being cringy. I will literally, through a class or whatever, or through social media, get to know somebody. And maybe I'm seeing that we are reposting the same things. And then I might send you a video. And then you send me one. And for some of those cases, I'm like, hey, yeah, I noticed we're getting along. Here's my phone number. My neighbor, she just said, hey, girl, what's your number? And even today, we were on the phone for like a whole hour, not talking about anything in particular. It takes a lot for a man to end friendships with other men, but it takes so little for us to be willing to end a friendship with a woman. Men will put half-ass or little effort into dating and finding a mate. And women will sacrifice themselves, their time, their money, their mental and emotional health for a man. Men would rather hang out with their boys than with you, but you would ditch your friends for them. But anyway, yeah, let me know if you want a part two. Bye, y'all.